Drinking tequila cabeza to me is like having a cooked agave held up and smashed into your face. We really wanted a tequila that had as much agave flavor as possible. So we worked with a family called the Vivancos. The Vivancos have actually been growing agave since 1922, so pretty much 5 generations of agaveros in the highlands of Arandes. They have never grown anything else, so there's never been any pesticides used on their land. And of course, with all that experience, they're very good at making agave. About 20 years ago, they built a distillery and started making tequilas. We went down to them because we really liked some of the tequilas they were making, but our specifications were going to be very different. As much agave as possible, slightly overproof. They gave us and delivered more than we ever asked. We cut the agaves down at 7 to 9 years of age, depending on the sugar content, which is usually around 28%. Then it's slow cooked in the clay brick ovens, 24 hours, 100 degrees. We let it cool for 24 hours before the agaves are shredded. And they're shredded with mineral water just to really sort of juice them up. Then it goes to a fermentation. Something that makes tequila cabeza quite unique is we do the fermentation period in winter only. It's, instead of the usual 3 days it might take to ferment the agave juices, it actually takes about 10 days. And that really brings out the earthiness and the richness. Then it goes through distillation. When it goes into the first still, the ordinario still, it comes out at around 22% ABV. And at this point, we put it through its filtration so that when it goes through its second distillation, there's no more filtration. Again, this was a step taken to get as much agave flavor as possible. But one of the real key things for us is at the very end, like many of our favorite tequilas, and something we didn't really like in what we called, or what they called the gringo tequilas, is we don't pump oxygen into it. A lot of tequilas have been oxygenated. It makes it smooth, it smooths it out, and it helps get it into the bottle within 20 to 48 hours. We were very adamant that we needed a resting period, a full 60 days, for it to be a good Blanco tequila. And it oxidizes in the air and it gives it this thickness and this fullness. So there you have it, tequila cabeza. 43%, so again slightly overproof to show well in a margarita, but basically a bottle of agave flavors. To me, it's very green beans and earthy, but it's also got a huge sort of cooked agave flavor. It smells almost like a visit to a tequila distillery. Hope you enjoy it.